I want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
Can you elaborate?
And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. There should have never been the attack of October 7th. People forget that. But there was, and many people are killed. They're no longer hostages. I have people from Israel and others calling, begging me to get, we had also people there from the United States, just so you know. They're holding some so-called hostages from the U.S. But I've had mothers come to me and fathers crying, can I get the body of their son back? Can I get the body of their daughter back?
This is President Trump snapping at a reporter, saying all hell will break out in the Middle East. This is Trump's ultimatum to Hamas to release the hostages before he gets inaugurated at the end of January, on January 20th. This is Trump's method. In a recent press conference at Mar-a-Lago, President-elect Donald Trump issued an ultimatum to Hamas demanding the release of hostages. He warned that failure to comply would result in severe consequences. All hell will break out in the Middle East. There is approximately 101 hostages and 7 Americans that remains in Hamas captivity. As of today, January 7, 2025, and negotiations have been ongoing but have yielded only limited progress. The Biden administration is simply ineffective at getting back the hostages, and it is very, very sad to see, if you ask me. Hopefully Trump will do a much better job to secure the hostages release. Trump's strategy is basically a combination of diplomatic pressure and implicit threat of military action. Let's watch the clip together.
I think they heard him loud and clear. Better get done by the inaugural.
But when you say all hell will be
Before I
paid,
take office.
that all hell must be paid if they don't release the
You know what that
hostages.
means, don't you?
Well-
Do I have to define it for you? Look, all
No, I know
hell
you're not
will
gonna
break out.
telegraph
If
what-
those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
Can you elaborate?
And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. There should have never been the attack of October 7th. People forget that. But there was, and many people are killed. They're no longer hostages. I have people from Israel and others calling, begging me to get, we had also people there from the United States, just so you know. They're holding some so-called hostages from the U.S. But I've had mothers come to me and fathers crying, can I get the body of their son back? Can I get the body of their daughter back? That beautiful girl where they threw her in the car, pulled her by her.
This is sad, honestly, that this crisis is not resolved yet. This is due to the incompetency on our leaders right now of the Biden administration and the rest of world leaders. They are simply unable to ensure the safety and security of their own people, and it's very sad. What are they doing with our taxpayer money? Honestly, this should be their primary job, ensuring the safety and the security of everybody.
Ponytailed and threw her in the car like she was a sack of potatoes. I said, what happened to her? Sir, she's dead. Like a 19, 20-year-old beautiful girl. And the way they treated her. And I just say it this very simply. Steve's got a job to do. He's a great guy, great negotiator, great person. They respect him over there already. It's what we needed over there. We have people that know everything about the Middle East, but they can't speak properly. They don't know. He's a great negotiator. That's what I needed. I could have sent that gentleman right over there, Hussein. He's a great negotiator. There are people, they're rare. Great negotiators are very rare, like a great surgeon. But we have the right person. But I tell this, I don't want to hurt the negotiation. If the deal isn't done before I take office, which is now going to be 2 weeks, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Okay?
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
President.
You've done a great job.
Thank you.
all hell will break out in the Middle East, he says. This is what it means to be a strong leader. President Trump's approach is military action and threatening Hamas. Hopefully, it will pay off. We don't know yet. We will see. Trump rhetoric suggests a willingness to take decisive action should diplomatic efforts fail. This statement, all hell will break out, implies a potential military intervention or other severe measures against Hamas if the hostages are not released promptly. And this caused many different kind of reaction from domestic political figures and the international community as well. Some say that we should be very cautious against actions that could escalate tension in the Middle East, and others argue that this aggressive rhetoric is probably undermine ongoing diplomatic efforts. But honestly, if you ask me, it's been months since the hostages have been captive. Thousands of people killed and injured. This should have been resolved a long time ago, and when diplomatic pressure is failing, we should have to resort to drastic measures, that will lead to consequences for all of these terrorists that have been facing basically no pushback from our world leaders up to now. We will see what happens. Is Trump gonna be able to get the hostage back? What is Hamas gonna do when Trump takes office? What are the potential repercussions in the Middle East and here at home in the United States or in Europe? We will see what happens. This strategy is very aggressive. It carries risk and it is a complex problem, but also a very sensitive situation. So we will see what happens next. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below this video. I appreciate you being here. As always, thanks for watching and staying with me to the end, and click right there to watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye bye.